Hi, Gina Timmons. Who's calling?
I'm calling you from the Happy Dale Mental Hospital.
What's the matter?
We need you to come in right away. I have the unfortunate duty of informing you that a terrible accident took
Et comedisti deligno, et quo praecere eram tibi, ne comederes maledicta terra, in opere tuo in laboribus comedes eam cuntis diebus via tua.
And we will prove that last April 30th on Mile Island, Colonel Kortzmeyer was murdered by Brian Basco in cold blood. The defense will attempt to confuse you with trickery and lies.
Los germinavi tibi e comedes herbas terrae, in sudore vultus tui vesceris panedon revertais, in terram de quo assuntus escuia pulvis, es et in pulverem reversem.
Order!
Quo cavitalam
For the last time, Mr. Basco, tell us what you remember.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, yes. Amnesia. If you think you'll get off by pretending to be insane, then you've really lost your mind.
I want order!
Ava eo quod mater essent, cunctorum viventium. Feci quo queronimus Deus Adam et uxorieis tunicas felicias et induiteos. Et aite que Adam factus es quasi unus et nobis sciens.
And given the doubts created by the defendant's mental health, he will be admitted into Happy Dale Psychiatric Hospital, where Dr. Bennett will determine whether his supposed insanity has any basis in reality. I'm postponing this trial until then.
No! I'm not crazy! Gina!
Brian?
It's me.
What's your game? You call me telling me I have to identify a headless body to say it's yours, and then you vanish for 2 days?
Get me out of here.
I went to your bogus burial and... All right. Where are you?
Buried in my grave.
That can't be. How am I gonna get you out of there? This is insane. Get me out of this tomb, say nothing to anyone. Be careful, murderer's waiting at exit. Battery low, come quick, banana. Banana? I don't know what went down in Hawaii, or what they did to you in that psychiatric ward. I don't know why you escaped, or why you faked your own death. I don't know how you got down there. I don't even know whether you're the Brian I know. All I want is for everything to go back to normal. That's all right, though. I won't ask for help, I won't call the cops, and I won't leave the cemetery. But I will get you out of there. You win, Brian. We'll play it your way. It came with a really cute purple ribbon, too. I don't know. Carrying that around would be a chore, but the ribbon alone, it'll be a great souvenir from Brian's phony funeral. Huh? What a weird machine. Wonder what that's for. A ladder here? Huh?
Hello, dear.
Hello?
Up here, on the roof.
Do I know you?
Well, of course not, dear. I'm Agatha Saffron von Rubenstein, PhD in parapsychology and poltergeistian phenomena from the University of Virginia, member of the North American Parapsychological Association, and also I'm a medium. 'Cause I like it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Gina. Gina Timmons.
It's amazing, my dear, how much pain is in your aura. Come inside. I'll help you stop your suffering. Hurry, I'll be right down.
Well, this is an interesting start. Nowadays, they're almost all made of cheap aluminum, but this one is classy. All wood and no gaudy colors. Agatha?
Hello, dear. Let's start from the very beginning. How long is it you've been dead now?
What? No, I'm alive. As far as I know.
Oh, well, isn't that a shame? You really could have helped me out here.
Well, sorry. Helped you what?
To find out whether the spirits in this cemetery are on my side or not. Reverend McCormick asked me to find out why the poltergeists infesting this graveyard are here. But first, I must know if they're on my side or not.
Is something weird going on in the cemetery?
Weird? Not at all. Well, the only strange thing is it seems like a UN summit with such an international set of spirits. Besides that, just the usual. Miscellaneous poltergeists and a hideous past tormenting the primordial energy here, which, by the way, is centered precisely inside this crypt.
Why do you say the cemetery seems like the UN?
Because there are spirits from many different countries. China, France, Germany, Spain, Brazil, Sweden, Egypt, Australia, and a few from right here, like you.
Agatha, I am not a ghost. I'm not even dead.
You're not? Well, have it your way.
What's so hideous about the past of this crypt?
A horrific, shameful, and hideous crime. During the Civil War, before this graveyard was here, this used to be a Yankee prison.
Wow, how interesting. Go on.
On the night of April 24th, 1864, a captain of the Confederacy, Noah Kilgore, was waiting to be executed. He had come to terms with death, but during a change of guards, his luck changed too. The lieutenant in charge of watching him was Philemon Kilgore, his own brother.
Two brothers fighting on opposite sides?
Civil War is always fratricidal, dear. Brother against brother. That's what it consists of. But anyway, Noah pleaded with his brother to let him go, and though Philemon didn't want to betray his army, his brotherly love won out, and he let his brother escape.
What's so horrific and shameful about that? Sounds like a nice story to me. Almost corny.
Don't jump the gun, dear. As soon as Philemon set him free, Noah whacked his brother over the head and left him unconscious. He exchanged clothes with Philemon and stuck him in the cell.
Of course. The brothers bore such a resemblance that nobody noticed the difference, right?
Yes, but Noah didn't want his brother to give up the big secret, so he set fire to his brother's cell. End of story.
The end? That awful murderer didn't get punished?
Well, eventually he died, of course. Several years later, after becoming a hero for the Yankees.
A war hero? That's not fair.
Wait, dear. After he burned Philemon alive, a voice tormented Noah in his dreams. It said, "Come to me, brother. As I burn, so shall you."
And
one day, driven mad by Philemon's voice, Noah returned to this place, and sure as sin, he was burned alive.
Huh? And what was the purpose of telling me this saga?
Noah and Philemon's tormented souls are the most powerful in this graveyard. They make up its primordial energy core, and I need their consent before contacting any other spirits.
So what do these poltergeists, which Reverend McCormick is so scared of, do?
Oh, lots of mischief. You know how these spirits can be. They drag chains, howl, lift their skirts when nuns come by, suddenly appear before visitors. They're such rascals.
Okay, this is getting pretty gross. Let's talk about something else. Tell me about that cable you slid down.
My parabiothermal cable? Well, it detects sudden changes in temperature caused by paranormal phenomena.
Like in the movies, when a ghost is going to appear and everything starts to look cold?
More or less. But in movies, they never quite get these things right. The more subdued spirits, like the ones in this crypt, display their temper using temperatures. If they are displeased by a presence, they emit heat. But if they are happy, they give off cold.
How does that cable work?
Very well, dear. Its filaments are temperature sensitive. If there is a variation of more than 20 degrees Celsius in less than 5 seconds, they send a signal to the ectothermal scanning machine outside the crypt. By analyzing its readings, I am able to determine the temperament or mood of the spirit that caused the thermal change. Pretty simple, isn't it?
So why did you put it right here?
Because I need to know whether the spirits in the crypt who are in charge around here are happy with my presence. If they emit cold temperatures, I can make contact with any spirit in this cemetery. But if they give off heat, then I'd better clear out. And Reverend McCormick will just have to find another medium.
Fascinating, Agatha, but let me ask you something else. See you later, Agatha.
Whenever you want, dear.
There's a bit of everything. A backpack, a tape recorder, a Ouija board, a dried out lemon, a flashlight. I bet that flashlight could be useful. But Brian always says that when you find things like this, the batteries are always dead. Agatha, does that flashlight work?
I just changed the batteries yesterday. Take it if you like.
Well, that proves Brian's first law wrong. Yikes! What a welcoming place. Huh? A tunnel? Wait a sec. If I've got this right, then behind that wall is the hole they buried Brian in. Not that that improves things much, but at least now I know I have two options. Either move the slab of stone off the grave and start digging, at the risk that somebody might see me, or break through this wall. Doesn't look easy. But at least I'm not out in the wide open with nosy people walking by. It gives me the creeps, but Brian is behind that wall. So if I don't take the urn, I might end up spilling its contents. Although, it would be worse if they poured out into my pocket. Didn't something like that traumatize a character on 6 Feet Under for years? Graves, graves, and more graves. Huh, I hope I don't have to find anything among them. It would take me everlasting eternity. Brian's text message said not to leave the cemetery, but I don't see what's wrong with approaching the front gate. Seems like they're fixing the outer wall. Yeah, these things can rust really fast. Let's see. The shovel. No, kind of creepy in a cemetery. And those metal thingies? No. Cement. What's that? Oh, I know. I'll take one of these adjustable tubular items you can use to prop things up. That might be useful. I've been here before when the hearse brought Brian in. Let's see if it's open. A flat spare tire. What a driver. Nice calendar he's got here. An old blanket. Oh, and one of those straps they use to lower coffins into the grave. I'll just borrow that. Man, it's darker in here than when we came for Brian's pseudo-funeral. I guess Reverend McCormick turned out all the lights when he left. I wonder why that's there. Yeah, looks like there's something underneath. A trap door. They better not keep their dog in there. Ah. I might be able to use that. Considering where I found it, it seems pretty clean. Let's see what happens if I climb on this. Why, yes! It was a wooden box. Think there's something inside? Hey, a key. I wonder what it's for. Let's see if it fits this lock. Okay, once I rescue Brian, I'll bring it back here. Someone told me that in the olden days, these baskets didn't have such long handles, but they added them when it was discovered rich people always sit as far away from the aisle as possible. Yes, I can turn it into a water bottle. If it doesn't have any holes in it, that is. Looks like a cartoon character glove. Father, I'm trimming the hedges. If you need me to put the coffins together, ring the bell. Signed by someone named Luann.
Jiffy. Don't you worry your holy old self for nothing.
Hurry up, little mama.
Well, looks like I managed to get that janitor girl to come. I hope Reverend McCormick doesn't show up at some point and ruin my plan. Hello?
Wait. You're the gal from that crazy guy's funeral. Is that where I saw you before?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, but don't come crying to Luann. I'm busier than a bee in a beehive. Gotta run. See ya.
Wow, you are so insensitive.
Oh, all right, sorry. My sincerest condolences and all that. Thing about this job is that you just get sick of all them weepy widows always crying at you. Anything else?
What's got you so busy, Luann?
Well, this here, can't you see? I've got to get these coffins together before the Tombs for Everyone charity benefit. But the instruction manual's in gibberish and I can't understand a word. But if anyone can get this done, I can.
I've never heard of do-it-yourself coffins before.
Me neither. But the old Reverend bought these unassembled on the internet and I've just got to deal with it. They're cheaper than pig's milk, but they're good enough for your final rest.
Well, I could think of a case or two in which that might just come in handy. What exactly does Tombs for Everyone consist of?
Well, it's this thing where if you're poor and you kick the bucket, everything's on the house. We pay for the coffin, the hole, the wreath, the stone slab. It used to be called Put a Tomb in Your Life, but that didn't catch on.
What's up with the manual?
Well, it's in Swedish, and not even a schoolmaster can understand it. It's like Chinese, but worse, because you can find a Chinaman anywhere, but who in tarnation knows where to find a Swede?
Would you let me see the assembly manual? I don't know, maybe I could help.
Besides being a rich city slicker, you figure you're some sort of engineer, huh? Well, take it.
Doesn't look easy, but we'll have to try.
You thought I'd just have one manual and wouldn't let you borrow it, huh? Well, Luann's accepting help today, so if you can understand any of that gibberish...
Why are you in such a hurry?
'Cause I met this manly stud and he's waiting for me to get off work. His name's Ernie, and he is the finest gentleman I've ever come across.
I think I know that Ernie guy.
If you try to steal my man, I'll slap you silly. Ernie's mine, you got that? Man, for once I reel in a hot catch and a city broad tries to steal him away from me.
So he's waiting for you? Are you guys going on a date somewhere?
He's taking me bowling. Ain't as serious as going to the Sunday ball, but since they don't have them around here...
You like the guy that much?
Better than a new hoe. Man, I'm even thinking of giving up my sacred chrysanthemum to him.
Oh my, how did you meet?
I was hacking away at the hedges. He came over and said some pretty things like that any sane man would fall in love with me. That he couldn't avoid falling for little old me, for me not to stop loving him and stuff like that, about love and the like.
Let's stop gossiping about Ernie.
You stop gossiping. I got dibs on him and he's mine.
What's behind that big door?
My tools. But get close to them and I'll punch your lights out. They're mine, got that? Dang, it's getting colder and colder in here.
Okay, already, forget it. Talk to you later. I don't want to make you late.
So what do you think you've been doing up to now? This city slicker's not too swift. Shoot!
How weird. It's on, but it's empty.
Well, of course. Who would be such a numbskull as to put something in there?
Why's that?
Because it's always on the fritz, and no sooner do you stick something in it than it goes pow, and it deep freezes everything to the core, so careful. Man, I don't know why I'm even warning her.
Okay, why the heck not? Let's see how long it takes to freeze.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Pow! It's already frozen.
No, I need something to help me keep it frozen once I've taken it out. I don't know if they'll fit, but ready. Okay, Gina, you spilled more outside the box than you poured in, but I don't think the party concern will notice. You haven't been sleeping well, you're exhausted and nervous, and do you know how hard it is to pour ashes without expert help? That's it.
Man,
I can use the urn as a thermos so that the ice doesn't melt or freeze my pocket. I hope my hand doesn't go cryogenic. Luann was right. It's frozen solid.
What if?
Hammer, pliers, file, scissors. This thin one here seems most familiar to me. I don't see why I should do that for now. Too bad it broke, because the statue was a real gem. I don't see why I should do that for now. I don't see why I should do that for now. That makes no sense. No, it's too heavy for me. The ends are attached using a small hook. Too bad it broke, because the statue was a real gem. I don't see why I should do that for now. I don't see why I should do that for now. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. Atlas Under the Weight of the World, donated by Angelos Louisopoulos. Brian told me that this guy holds up the heavens, or something like that, according to the ancient Greeks, I believe. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. The ends are attached using a small hook. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. Ah, yikes! The strap is on so tight that there's no way to get it off. I could stick it in the empty space between the two parts of the ball, but when I pull on it, the strap would break and the broken part would fall off. That sounds good. And when the strap gets a little bit less tight, I'll finally be able to take it off. Looky there, now I have two. That sounds good. The end of the cable has no plastic coating, so it'll be much more sensitive to the cold than the rest. So let's see.
A thermal manifestation. Oh, my spirits. What lovely creatures.
Hey, it worked! I feel bad about tricking Agatha, but I guess I've done worse things in my time. And with a lot less payoff than now. Yes, that's the thing to do. Darn. Someone could have put a hole, tunnel, lever, or something else that might make it easier for me to reach Brian. I have no other choice but to remove one of these blocks of stone. But which? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think it'll be best to choose that one in the middle with the ring. It'll be easier to remove than the ones on the side. That doesn't sound too smart. Completely useless, I'm afraid. No. I can't see what... What about Agatha? Yeah, like Agatha said, this was a war prison. I can only imagine the things that ring has been used for. Yikes! Gina, you've already lived enough nightmares. It's made of metal. It's made of metal. I'm not even gonna try. I think I've come up with better ideas before. Yeah, sure. I'll get right on it. Why would I do that? These are the most luxurious digs in this bone pile. Diverx... It's sturdily attached to the stone block. I think I've come up with better ideas before. I think I've come up with better ideas before. Completely useless, I'm afraid. That doesn't sound too smart. That doesn't sound too smart. I don't know how, but it works. I've never been too swift with Roman numerals, but I think this says 1969. Oh, there she is. Hey, Agatha, what are you doing here?
Congratulate me, dear. They gave me permission.
Congratulations. Who gave you permission and what for?
Didn't you hear the ectothermal machine beeping? The spirits of the Kilgore brothers, the primordial energy force in this graveyard, have authorized me to proceed with my research on their turf.
Oh, wow, how cool.
So you need not fear anything any longer, dear. Just answer me honestly. Why is your tormented spirit still wandering through this world?
Because I'm not dead yet?
Come on, are you sure?
I'd bet my life on it. But there are other things I'm not so sure about.
Oh, you have questions? Tell me. I'm your medium.
See you around, Agatha.
Goodbye, dear.
From up here, I can see how the giant angel is anchored better. It's holding up the angel's derriere. It's very thick because that angel is truly obese. Yikes! Not even that redneck chick Luann has the strength. It's not very bright, but it'll do. It's a bit rusty. I can't see what good that would do me. That doesn't sound too smart. File the block? Of course. I can file away the mortar between the other blocks, and then it'll be easier to move. File that mortar down, let's get to it.
Wasabi. No, the broad's still inside, and I'm starting to get knackered. We're on it. Yo, Fatzilla, bad news, dude. Seems we can't go in. We have to wait for her here, then follow her. You have such a way with words.
Well, that wasn't easy, but I managed to file all of the mortar away. Okay, so I got rid of the mortar, but I wonder if I can drag away the stone with the strap. Ready. Not a chance. Good idea. Though besides that, I think I've come up with another one of my brilliant ideas. I know it seems a bit strange, but, well, it might work. What's up, Agatha?
Nothing much, dear.
Could you translate this manual for me? It's in Swedish.
Is Swedish a dead language?
I don't think so.
Then I can't help you, dear. Though, if you find the grave of a Swede here in the graveyard, I can ask him or her to translate it for you.
See you around, Agatha.
Goodbye, dear.
Okay, let's see what it's about. Yikes. Could it be any spookier? It's a list of names with the dates and places of birth and death and the location of the person's grave. It's a list of names with the dates and places of birth and death and the location of the person's grave. I don't see how that would help me. Huh? If a person is in this directory, that means they're dead, doesn't it? However... Eureka! Ingerman Holgren, born in Norrköping, Sweden, and his grave is in Sector D, Path 2, Aisle... Here it is! But the truth is, I don't know why I'm so incredibly happy. I mean, I just found a dead guy, and considering where I am, that's not exactly an amazing feat. What's up, Agatha?
Nothing much, dear.
I know where to find a Swede. I looked in that cemetery directory down in the
Very well done, dear.
Ingerman Holgren. Here he is.
Now, my dear, you just wait for me over there.
But...
I need some peace now to get my capacity for understanding to rise to the world of the spirits. Ingerman, I invoke you. Ingerman, come and show yourself. Oh. Monterinstruktionen. Let's see what this book says. Instructions for the assembly.
Agatha, what you just did is absolutely amazing.
Oh, my dear, you've no idea.
Really, thanks to you, I have just what I needed. The fully translated Flichting Coffin Assembly Manual. What would you say if I told you that I had translated the Coffin Assembly Manual?
That if you're lying, I'll smack you upside the head. Oh, my sweet lordy. Wow. Yes, this'll be a cinch. Now, in 5 minutes, I can do this body box. Then I'll get gussied up and it's off to the bowling alley with Ernie. So, will you show the coffin to the Reverend and close up the workshop for me?
Okay, fine. You run along. Don't worry.
So, it turns out you're a real nice person after all. Move out, Ernie.
I'll be seeing you later, hot duck.
At last, I'm alone. It isn't exactly small. Finally. Bit of everything here. Gardening tools, paint cans, do-it-yourself stuff. Oh, and a circular saw. It's heavy, but I'm sure I will be needing it. Yeah, it's such a silly idea that it might even work. But I don't know what I could attach them together with. What am I saying? What about the ribbon from the funeral wreath? Come on, let's get down to work. That turned out even better than I expected. Let's see how well it holds. This contraption doesn't cut stone, it's made from metal. If I did that, the angel would only be hanging from the front cable, and it would fly head first towards the underground chamber. Oh my God, what a mess I've made. Yes, the stone moved. Although, when Reverend McCormick comes back, I know one parapsychologist who's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Poor old woman. Oh well. That pole must have fallen off after what happened with the angel. I'll put it back in place so I don't trip. I'd rather keep it. They're the same kind of bricks lining Brian's grave. Great idea. Bring it on, Gina. Brian, if you can hear me, stay away from the wall. Hi-ya! Brian! Brian?
What, you don't know where he is?
Who are you?
The guy who sent you the text message. Banana!
Wait a minute. You're Gabbo, Brian's friend from the psychiatric hospital. What are you doing in here?
Sleeping. I didn't intend to stay in the box. I got in before the burial. I was gonna try to meet you afterwards. To find out where Basco is, but it turns out you don't know either. Improvise, Spiegelman!
Did you fall asleep inside the grave?
Narcolepsy. Let's go.
Where to?
Out. To find the only guy who can help Basco.
Weren't there some thugs by the exit?
I'll kill one guy, you take the other. How's that?
Hey, are you nuts?
Okay. Let's try to Steve McQueen. I'll need a couple of cars.
Ah, there she is, the little cow. That wait was so boring, man. What the...
Banana! Hurry up, get in!
Okay, she got away. No, we'll find her. The little slapper's dead, I swear.